My name is Brian, and this is Brian Ethics Sports. Thank you so much for being part of us. And of course, as usual, we give you the latest information and news coming in from the world of football, especially as Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya are preparing for the African Cup of Nations 2027. And of course, it's been quite a while since I last dropped something for you to share the progress of how these three countries are really getting prepared for this awesome and wonderful tournament. All I can say is that the progress is on, and for people from Uganda, I think I'll go straight forward to what is happening in the, of course, the construction progress is really showing. Miles and miles of things that have been done by the Suma group. And of course, it's expected to be a 129 to 130 million US dollar project. And already you all know that the Turkish company that is Suma, that is in charge of constructing this wonderful stadium, have already shown that they are really serious with whatever they are doing. Currently, of course, the milestone include 90% of the main structure of the stadium, including the concrete works already being done. And I got to know that, of course, 70% of the sinking reinforcement has already been done, as the pictures are really being shown. We also know that there's also ongoing installation of seats. If you've seen pictures that are coming in from the update, you know that the ongoing installation of the seats, roofing, which is of course prefabricated materials, really done on site, and then of course elevated up to the roofing there. I also got to know that they also have the Havoc systems, landscaping as well, and the wiring has also been done at the Hoima City Stadium. There's also progress on the main pitch. We also know that besides the main pitch, there is also another 2,000 capacity seater indoor stadium that is also being constructed already. It is showing the good shape that you all know of the indoor stadiums. You can see where the stands are going to be. There's also the semi-Olympic swimming pool. The tiling is being done, which is also something very positive. The training pitch is also being worked on the surfaces. We all know that the access roads are also very important for anyone that is also going to be getting into the stadium. So we also have got to see the basketball pitch as well as the other outdoor pitches being constructed. So it looks like everything is happening very fast. We have over 1,000 workers that are also working on site, with over 75 and 80 being Ugandans. Of course, it was one of the few things that were put in the agreement to a little bit boost the local employment opportunities, because you all know that usually when people come into your country and they have the technical know-how, usually the skilled labor, kind of like sandwiches the other laborers that are on site. So if you're not very careful, you'll end up having a project in a region, and the people that are the natives of the region do not benefit. So it was a government policy. It has always been a government policy to have the locals facilitate the other labor, positions. Maybe some are skilled, but most of the unskilled labor are really coming in from the region. So we are really expecting better progress. I got to know that, of course, the local organizing committee came in and did some supervision. They went to the site. We've also had a lot of other committees, not only the local organizing committee, but we've had even the businessmen going all the way and inspecting these sites. These businessmen include the Bagaga Kwagarana. They are looking at business opportunities that are availed by this opportunity of Uganda hosting such a big tournament. So it has also shown a lot of challenges that are in the construction sector, especially in Uganda here. We've had contractors on different sites. I won't mention one of them, but of course the notable one being the hospital all the way in Lubowa, that specialized hospital. We've had contractors really coming onto site and staying there for a very long time, yet there is no progress. Issues to do with money and all the other things being cited, but we've not had the same issue, especially at the Hoima Stadium construction. It is going to be a 20,000 capacity seater stadium, over 42 acres of space that has been availed to these people really to construct the stadium. It has a modern swimming pool, like I told you. It has other amenities, and it also has a parking that can house over 1,000 vehicles, and also an underground VIP parking slot that can really also help in the parking over the VIPs. It is designed to meet international standards. You all know that the surfaces, the facilities, the VVIP centers, the media tribunals are all supposed to be meeting the standards. And of course, we all know that Mandela National Stadium is also another project that they'll be undertaking after the completion of the Hoima City Stadium. There's been a lot of talk of how Uganda is going to be benefiting as a region. One of the things that Bunyoro region, or you can call them the Hoima region, what they really had as a success in their region is having an international airport. It will complement the stadium. In fact, one of the reasons why they even chose the Hoima City Stadium as a stadium that really should be constructed in that part of the country. A lot of people will be asking, the airport was one of the reasons why it was supposed to be chosen. One of the few things that the requirements that CAF can give you or FIFA can give you to have an international stadium is to have an accessible international airport where the guests can come in, just fly in, and of course have the modern facilities of the check-ins and all that stuff at the airports to really facilitate their travel. So we are looking at not only the stadium, but we are looking at an international airport being constructed. It's already constructed, but also being operational all the way in the Hoima region. Of course, we expect better hotels, 4 to 5 star hotels in the region that are supposed to be facilitating the guests that are coming in, which means that the local or private sector or the local entrepreneurs should really come in and should be investing. That is why I told you a delegation of local businessmen were in there touring the airports, touring the stadiums, seeing how they can come in and put their money and also look at the business opportunities that are in there. And of course, the other thing is also the Hoima Referable Hospital. It is one of the other few facilities that has been improved by, of course, looking at how emergencies can be handled, especially with the big volume of Ugandans as well as international guests coming in the country. And of course, the job creation, I've told you, all these facilities need people that are going to be working. And the only way for you to get cheap labor is to employ the locals. So that is also one of the things that has been happening. That the government has been this main source of funding with over 152 billion Uganda shillings being invested in this infrastructure. Of course, that was, I think, 30% of the total cost. But we all know that they've been updating and putting in financially. I saw a recent interview coming in from Minister India Moses Magubo, the president of FUFA, coming out and talking about how there's nothing like any lack of funding. Government has really committed itself. They've really paid the necessary monies to the company that is supposed to be constructing. Now it is up to the company to really complete the job. So what we are seeing right now, the installation of the seats, the roofing itself, the construction of the other facilities is showing a bit of great progress, especially with the way things are happening in there. So for all the people out there that are really enjoying and really are excited to see the progress of such a facility being constructed in the country, it is really a blessing to be in the times when this is being constructed. Not only here in Uganda, but also you all know that even in Kenya, the Talanta Sports City Stadium is also another facility that is also taking shape very fast. It is going to be a 60,000 capacity seater stadium. It is a FIFA standard football pitch with a rugby stadium as well in there. So it is also taking so much over. It's constructed by the Chinese, but it's also taking up shape every single day that goes by. And I think it shows you how East Africa is really very serious and how they're really very focused to seeing that the tournament that will be coming in 2027 is a success. Like I told you as I was beginning this page and beginning all these shows, I told you, of course, we had conflict with a lot of people from Kenya and Tanzania saying that I favor Kenya instead of Tanzania. But I told them by the completion of the stadiums, we'll have, the Kenya being ahead of all the other nations because, first of all, they have the better hotels. Not only do they have the better hotels, but recognition-wise. Their airline really has better recognition, and now a lot of people were arguing that the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium is a better stadium. I told them by the time we get to the African Cup of Nations 2027, Kenya might be a little bit leapfrogging all the other people around because the facility is bigger. It is strictly a football stadium. And also the amount of stuff that comes with that stadium, it is going to be a standard stadium incorporating all the other things that the other stadiums have. And already you all know that the Kasarani Stadium has already been under renovation to reach the standards that is really needed. And this extension and forwarding the tournament, the CHAN tournament, to the later months of the year has given them time to really relax, organize themselves, and be on the right page. Of course, this does not go away without the challenges, because we all know that the project has an estimate of 44.7 to 45.3 Kenya billion Kenya shillings, and of course there's been talk over, it's an estimate of something like $350 US. There's been talk of inappropriate, using of these funds, and there have been issues to do it. Transparency, and of course, an Auditor General report flagged over 1.2 billion in expenditure, which is something like 300 Kenya million shillings, and of course this was not accounted for. So we have those loopholes that are coming in, even in Uganda here, even in Tanzania. You'll hear of such scrutinies, and of course the reports coming in after the tournament is done, but we cannot run away from the fact that even if these challenges come in, but of course, the infrastructure development in the regions really is really getting better. For Tanzania as well, the stadiums are also taking shape. You all know that, yes, there are stadiums being constructed. We have one in, I think, in Dodoma, which is being constructed. So it is also taking shape. And I also got to know that the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium is also under renovation to reach the standard. So by the time we get to 2027, I believe that everything will be very, very, very well. This was just to give you an update, of course, on what is really happening. But of course, we shall dig and dive more in the issues that are happening, especially around the governance as well, around the other issues to do with the management of the game, because we have issues in Uganda here that are related to Kenya, especially in the change of the management of the people that run the game. So I'll be discussing that and so much more here. Thank you so much, and I believe that it has been wonderful, wonderful. Welcome back from all those few months that you've not been getting information from me, but I'm here, and I'll be back with so much more here on Bright Kids Sports. My name is Brian, and of course, we shall be discussing more here on this page. God bless you. Have a good day, and bye bye.